Hello, my name is Liz Kerner and I am a sculptor. And I actually work across a broad range of different craft mediums. My background is in woodworking, but I also incorporate textile techniques into my work, like weaving and sewing. And most recently I've started using mosaic tile in my work as well. So my biggest inspiration would be architecture and interiors, or you could say just looking at the built environment. I like thinking about the ways that we're both physically and psychologically connected to the spaces that we inhabit. So my interest in textiles began because I was just really wanting a process that was less physically intense than woodworking, that I could do at home, that would be a little more meditative and soothing. And so I took a few classes and learned how to weave. And it's been kind of a slow process of like incorporating that medium into my sculptural work. One thing I have thought a lot about is that I think textiles and architecture are both extensions of the body, just kind of to varying degrees. So one thing I've been interested in doing with my sculpture is rendering architectural forms using textiles to kind of make the intimacy of architecture more apparent, and to make that connection more tactile and just more obvious. I just want to say I'm so excited and grateful to be a recipient of this award. It really means a lot to have recognition and to have the funding support. You know, I teach, but I don't make a whole lot of money as a teacher, so it's really going to help support me. I have a show lined up for 2023 at the Historic Arkansas Museum, so this funding is going to help me purchase materials for that show. It's going to allow me to take some time off to work on creating new work, and yeah, just I'm so thankful and honored to be included in such an amazing group of creative artists.
My name is James Matthews. I live and work in Little Rock. I trained as a documentarian, and it's encouraged me to carry a certain worldview, to notice those things that we're conditioned to overlook, and find ways to present them so that people can see them anew. But for the past 10 or 15 years, I've also studied traditional craft techniques, especially quilt making and hand sewing. And put those two together, the craft and the documentary, and objects like quilts become for me a way to fix the fleeting and the ephemeral into forms that are lasting and meaningful. The quilts I make are made almost solely from reclaimed material, material that others have thrown away. That's an important part of my art. So my work is ultimately about transformation. Right? I take everyday cast-off materials and employing traditional techniques of quilt making and hand stitching, I create works that attempt to speak to the tensions between, say, traditional and throwaway culture, the effects of grinding social forces on fragile communities, and the power of beauty to redeem the world. So I'm fortunate enough to have a sabbatical from my day job this fall, and this fellowship will allow me to travel and visit collections and connect with other craftspeople and to continue my education in the craft. I've also chosen to donate to some of the craft communities that have inspired me and make the work that I do possible. I believe that a gift of this sort deserves to be passed on to others. So thank you.
I'm Dani Ives, and I'm a fiber artist. My artworks are made with wool fibers, a barbed needle, and needle felting techniques, and I call my process painting with wool. So much of my inspiration comes from nature. I spend as much time outdoors as I can. I also have a previous career in biology and conservation education, so my job was to connect people with animals, with the environment, and I still continue that work through my artwork. I am so grateful to be receiving this award. It's incredibly validating to me as an artist. This is not something I set out to do, but I love being an artist, and I love being able to share my creativity with the world, and I'm just really honored to receive this fellowship award. So thank you.